Aloha, welcome to another edition of the Above the Bridge podcast. I'm your host, Thaddeus. We're back. I've been gone for a couple of weeks, and the reason why was my daughter had a volleyball tournament, a national volleyball tournament in Chicago, and I took vacation for that, and then we went to New York City and cruised New York for a week, and that's why we've been gone for a while. But we're back now, and we'll keep it going, hopefully, for the rest of the summer. First up, I want to shout out our sponsors. Defend Hawaii, they've been my first sponsor, the first guys that believed in me and in this podcast. So shout out to Defend Hawaii. If you go check out their website, defendhawaii.com, see what they have. You can also go to their store in Windward Mall. No One, they have all the new drops and the latest stuffs they've been doing. But go to defendhawaii.com, use promo code ATBPod upon checkout. You'll receive 15% off your entire purchase order. Next, we have IREP Detail Supply. They're a car detail supply store that has everything you need to detail your car. They have soaps, wax polishes, buffers, anything you need to detail your car. Go to IREP Detail Supply. They have a store in Temple Valley Shopping Center, or you can go on their website, irepdetailsupply.com. Promo code ATBPod upon checkout. You'll receive 15% off your entire purchase order. Last, we have Hawaii Candy Factory, and I've seen their candy everywhere. They're in beautiful packaging, kind of cute little things that says Noms. They have a bunch of lihimui, gummies, gushers. My favorite is the peaches. Go check them out, hawaiicandyfactory.com. Promo code ATBPod upon checkout. You receive 10% off your entire purchase order. Aloha. Okay, this week on the Above the Bridge podcast, my guest is an entrepreneur, MMA coach, former Iowa State wrestler, promoter, jack of all trades. Dallas Collier, what's up, man?
Yeah. Thanks for having me, Thad.
Yo, thanks for coming on. You're in Portland right now, so the time's a little different.
Right now I'm currently in Portland. It's 3 hours ahead, so yeah, it's not too bad. It's not too bad. If it was like New York or East Coast, I was in New York like a couple months ago.
I was there last week.
Crazy.
Yeah. It's hot as fuck, bro.
Oh man. Yeah, I was there when it was still kind of cold in May.
Okay.
Maybe end of April. Still kind of cold, that's why.
Yeah. What were you doing in New York?
So I was actually being featured on so I went to the New York Stock Exchange to film, and I was representing a company, and basically I got like interview. Like it was a quick interview. Yeah. And so I was featured on like Fox Business News and Bloomberg.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Late night, so nobody really saw it.
Hey, somebody saw it.
Hopefully, man. Hopefully. Yeah.
So what business was it that took you up there?
Okay, cool. So my consulting company is Collier Consulting and Management. So I started this company a couple of years ago, but I do have experience with sales and marketing for like years and years, almost 15 years. I've been doing sales. Right while I was in high school, I joined like an insurance company. I did sales. I honestly kind of did it under the table too, because I wasn't even 18 yet. So I did it through my friend's account, and like I was making the calls for him and then, doing sales. So I got really good at sales kind of early, and enough to the point where I was a VP of sales of a different company. And that's what made me decide I could start my own, because I was, doing a lot of the work and having a lot of the success, being able to sell, and that company went out of business anyway. So I started my own, and I pretty much offer marketing and sales strategies, opportunities for people. I help them do a lot of online digital work, like social media advertising. But basically, this company took me to meet different kind of people that I never thought in a million years I would meet, like being featured on the New York Stock Exchange, things like that. So I guess my talent and my ability, I was fortunate enough to be able to be found by other people and say, hey man, I know somebody who might need your services. Hey man, I know someone who might need your sales strategy. So I started working with this company, SoMe. It's a digital, or it's a social media app. Okay, so it's like a, I mean, I guess you would say it's like a Twitter mixed with Instagram, mixed with TikTok, mixed with LinkedIn, all kind of combined in one. And so I've been working with them for about a year, and um after about 6 months in, they were like, man, we want to kind of just move you into like a director of marketing of our company. So I said, sure, I'm doing the same work. It's still remote. I don't have to be, at the office or anything. I was still living in Hawaii at the time. I said, you know what, sure, I would love to do that. So first thing they did was, yeah, they sent me to New York to represent the company, and they interviewed me at the New York Stock Exchange. They interviewed me to be featured as like a new startup business, even though the company has been around for a while. It's just the idea of the company and using blockchain in social media is kind of new. So they wanted they wanted SoMe, the company, to be featured on the show, and they were like, man, we love your energy. We love that you're younger than all of us. So I speak well. So they're like, yeah, they sent me up there. I got to dress in a nice suit and tie. I got interviewed by a woman named Jane, and it was cool because like I looked at some of the other companies that they interviewed, and a lot of the other companies that have, like, they have nothing to do with blockchain, nothing to do with social media. It's so well versed, and so being featured on that kind of show really, it also took my confidence up too. So I know that, my ability to represent a company at the New York Stock Exchange on TV, on Fox Business News and Bloomberg News, I'm like, okay, man, I must be doing something right,
That's big
So
time, man.
yeah, yeah,
Bruh,
and yeah,
that's a lot of people must have seen it, even if it was late or not. That's like
yeah, it
it,
was a
it
later
probably
spot.
takes a lot of confidence to just even go up there and kind of showcase what your company all about. And you only been working with them for a little while.
Yeah, yeah, it's even
Nuts.
crazier because you know, we signed an NDA, so we're not really allowed to say. But most recently, with this company, the CEO and I flew to Hollywood to be featured on a show. But that's all I can say. Um, yeah.
Oh,
So I was in
nice.
LA last last week. Yeah, literally last week I was there for a few days. We shot,
Okay.
and we just came back. So
Oh, so
that
we'll look forward to seeing that in the future.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
Oh,
definitely.
nice.
I know. I went over there and I'm like, man, you know what? Maybe I should just be an actor. Screw all of this stuff.
Yeah, dude.
I know, because I was there and there were actors there, and they're like, "Oh, are you an actor?" I'm like, "No, man. Like, this is nothing." And then they're like, "You should be an actor. I want to set you up with headshots." Like, oh, okay, like, and they're like, "All right, yeah." So I don't know. I might see what's up. See if I
Do
have
it,
an.
man.
Yeah, who knows? I would love to. I would love to for sure.
Well, it seems like you're a person that's down to take a risk and like kind of consume whatever opportunity you have. And
Mm, yeah,
I always like talking to people like that. I like people that bet on themselves,
yeah,
follow their dreams and passions,
yeah.
and yeah, just do what you want to do and fuck everybody else.
Dude, that's exactly how I live my life. Every opportunity that's available for me, I jump on it because I know after all this experience, I owned 6 companies in Hawaii in the past. Where are they? There's only like one left. It's because I already know what happens, man. You get on something, you go on a hot streak, and you cool off. Now, if it were the type of company where I'm like, oh, I'm a general contractor in Hawaii, or like, something like I'm a hotel in Hawaii, of course I'm going to keep that company because it's going to be making me millions of dollars. But the type of companies that I was getting into, it only took me so far to the point where I'm like, all right, I know that I can't put all my eggs in one basket, and nothing lasts forever. At the end of the
Yeah.
day, there's one day in the future I'm gonna die, right? So nothing lasts forever. So how I live my life is like, if there's any opportunity, even someone just told me acting last week, I'm gonna do it because I said fuck it. I'm gonna do anything that anyone says I can do, because at the end of the day, for me, when I die, I want to be able to say, I want people to say like, that's the guy that did everything he said he was gonna do. That's it. That's all I want to be known as. The guy who did everything he said he was gonna do. So when I say, hey man, I want to try this acting thing, I better go and do it, right? I want to start a new company in this industry. I better go and do it, right? So that's what drives me every day. Exactly what you said, man. I'm willing to take that risk and bet on me. Right.
Yeah.
Bro, I've bet on people too many times. And I know a lot of successful people say the opposite of what I say. They're like, man, you need to invest in people, not in things, right? But man, I've invested in so many bad people. I've got burned so many times that like I get where they're coming from. It's just that you guys might have caught a lucky break and you were a good person and you found another good person. So you say invest in people, but I've invested into so many people, not money wise, but invest in my trust, my belief, and my time,
Time.
just
Yeah.
to find out that they were gonna screw me over anyway. In the end, you know. So for me, it's exactly like you said. I bet on me, man. So I'm willing to go out there and take any opportunity by the horns and control it and be it. You know, I want to live it. I want to live that life. But to me, that's how I define my success: being able to do what I want to do every day. You know.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
So the company you're working for now, that's a social media
Yeah.
networking kind of company that's
Yeah.
combining like all aspects of
Yep.
the better social medias that's out there
Yeah.
now.
Yeah.
Is it accessible to the public yet
Yeah.
or?
Yeah. Everyone can use it now. It's just we're kind of on a slow build because if we were to do marketing, like right now is not the best time for the masses to join because we're still working on new features and new functions because it's going to be like, okay, this is the same as Instagram. Why am I going to use this? It's the same as TikTok.
Yeah.
I'm just going to use TikTok. I'm using Instagram. That's where all my friends are at. So
Yeah.
we're working on different ways for everyone to be able to monetize. And we're working on different ways so that people can have more free speech, like how Rumble's doing. And
Mm.
then we're also working on the fact that, which is kind of hard for a company to start off from scratch with this, but we're pretty much the only social media. We're pretty much the only app that doesn't that gives the user the opportunity to be in control of their own private data. So like when I'm scrolling on Instagram and I like a photo, they're going to give me all the suggested things based off of what I like, my activity. If I search something on Google, they're going to see it and they're going to say, hey, this is what he searched. So they're going to give my Nike shoes. I'm going to start to see Nike shoes on my Instagram, right? With this app, we don't ever touch your private data. So but you can opt into it, of course. But you know,
Yeah.
in the beginning, no one starts off with like that. So there's no algorithms. There's no things where it puts you at the top or like puts cat videos if you like cats. You know, it doesn't. It doesn't do that. It doesn't really. It doesn't keep track of what you're doing. So that
Okay.
human safety, that's what people are. I mean, not everyone, because a lot of like, I mean, for me personally, I don't really care, right? Like, if
Yeah.
I'm looking on Google at shoes and then they pop up to me personally, I don't care. But I've met a lot of people who don't like that. They're like,
Mm.
they know everything I'm doing. They know everything I'm searching. They know all the stores I walk into. I walk into Starbucks. They know, you know. But for me, I don't really mind that kind of stuff. But there's a lot of people who do. And if you want your private data secure when you're browsing through social media, this is the app.
Yeah, that's crazy. I was just in New York and it's
Mhm.
so weird. Like I didn't really do much, but as soon as I landed, within 2 hours, I was getting on Instagram, like, oh,
Mhm.
check out this activity in New York, or check out this show in New York. I'm just like, okay, that's kind of weird,
They
but
already know, dude.
yeah, it's kind of crazy. And bro, we're definitely walking around with computers that's on in our pockets all day, man. And who knows what's kind of information is going through that thing, man.
Yeah, but it can track everything, bro.
Yeah.
Everything we do. How did they know you just landed in New York an hour ago?
Yeah.
It's all geographic targeting. They know, man. So it's it's just it is what it is. I get it. They make billions of dollars off it. So,
Yeah.
that's why the company I'm with right now, we're not bringing in a whole ton of money right now, but we're trying to do things slow and the right way that
The right
eventually
way.
people are going to get, because it's going to get worse and worse and worse. And when it
Yeah.
does, we have already built something that's going to last, that we feel is going to last, right? So a lot of people have something to fall back onto maybe later or hopefully sooner than later, right? But like I
Mhm.
said, we're adding in other functions, like we're putting in an AI system. So people are going to be able to like, or maybe if you're like someone that's uncomfortable with creating your own content, We have an AI system. You upload a photo of yourself, and we say, "Hey, make it into an AI," and it can do anything. Like put me in outer space, and it creates a photo for you. So we're adding all kind of cool stuff so people can have the AI create their content for them, and then they post it, and then they can monetize off that because it's still original content. The AI created it,
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what we're working on. Kind of cool stuff.
That's crazy. I got a lot of questions for you about AI, but just to get back to social media,
Yeah,
what is your opinion how social media is now, and especially with our younger generation
yeah.
compared to what it was before? Because social media is pretty much like factored into life now for a
Mhm.
lot of people.
Yeah, yeah. So when it first came out, like Mark Zuckerberg, he's a smart guy. He's not by no means. He knows everything he does is calculated. So in the beginning, when it's like a social network to make sure that when you go to college and you leave college, you and your best friends in college live thousands of miles away each other's lives. To be honest, like in my mind, that's not that's not really what it's meant for. It's meant to have a whole bunch of people join and taking their private information and selling it for advertising and making billions of dollars. That's just basically what it is, right? But
Yeah.
in the sense of like us as users, not as like I said, with the CEO of the company, obviously he knew what he was doing. But for the users, I personally think social media is a part of our life to the point where if you were to take away my phone for a day, I would probably lose my mind because I run a lot of the work for my businesses on my phone. I post a lot on social media. I do teach a lot, and that's why I have my brand Slick Boys. That's why I'm building my kind of like my MMA and jiu-jitsu style wrestling technique. And I'm building this image, this persona of that. And like for me, if you take that away from me, it's almost like who am I at the end of the day? I'm an entertainer. So like
Yeah.
if I can't entertain somehow, it kind of it's part of my everyday life, right? So it's exactly like what you said. It's I don't think it's a bad thing. What I'm trying to say is like I'm people might be against it. I'm not one of them. I love social media. I love what it does for us users. Like I said, for the owners, they're in it for money, nothing else. They don't care about keeping in touch with their families. They just don't. But for us, we do get to keep in touch with our families. But we also can build this sense of like for like these influencers that are popping up out of nowhere, these new comedians popping up out to more popped up out of nowhere because of Instagram,
Yeah.
because of social media. So it's like it's giving a platform for people to perform their own talents in entertainment. Not only entertainment, there's people who cook, chefs, there's people who freaking my mom does like she does crocheting, she builds like things, she sells stuff through Instagram. She does. So it's like
That's
cool.
awesome.
It's like yeah, anybody and everybody has a platform and has a voice now. So I like it. I like social media. Yeah.
What would you say the negativity or negative aspects to social media is right now?
The fact that people are getting weirder and weirder by not having that face-to-face connection. Because
Yeah.
we're lucky because we lived in both, right?
Yeah.
We're
Yeah. Yeah.
we're we're we've experienced both. But for the generation now that's young in high school and in elementary, man, they're never gonna know what it was like to like have to go to a bar to talk to a girl. Like have to, like they're not gonna know what that's like.
Yeah.
They're not gonna know like tricks and pranks and all these like cool
Yeah.
school stuff that we went through that they're probably not gonna be able to go through. Like a lot of people are gonna start doing online college because they're like socially like I don't like being around people. I'm gonna do college online. I already know that's gonna come. All college is gonna be
Yeah.
online. So that's the negativity. I don't like that we're not getting a lot of that face to face human interaction. I think that we need that in
Yeah.
order to move forward as a species, not get taken over by robots.
Yeah. And
Yeah.
that's true. I'm in the club industry and I seen the decline in people and clubs, especially in Hawaii because of social media. And you're right, bro. Like we lived in a generation where if you wanted to talk to a chick, or get her number, or you
Yep.
gotta put your freaking balls in your hand and go up there and ask her
Yes.
yourself, yeah, and
Yep.
put yourself out there and risk rejection or embarrassment or whatever. And brother,
Yeah.
yeah, the kids nowadays, they can do that on their couch, and if something like it doesn't work out, you just delete them. It's not even a big deal.
Yeah.
And yeah, I
So
see both
different.
sides, and I see how businesses and um different avenues of making money can be helped with social media,
Yeah.
because the
Yep.
it's an outstretched unlimited capability of touching
Yeah.
people, especially people we wouldn't know. And
Yep.
yeah, I use it all the time for
Yep.
my promotions as well as the podcast. But I do see there's kind of, because I have a daughter, I gotta make sure she can navigate that social media realm without any kind of negativity, or like I know how kids are nowadays, and like whatever drama they have in school, they could take it home with them. And because of social media, then now like it gets spread faster and to more people. And yeah,
Yeah.
it's kind of crazy. The younger generation that's living now have to deal with some kind of stuffs that we never had to. Like I never had to. Like
Yeah.
if I had drama in school, if I came home, it didn't follow me home. You know what I mean?
Yeah. 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 Gotta wait till 7 a.m. tomorrow to fucking deal
Yeah,
with this again. But yeah, it
yeah,
didn't fall home. Now it does. You're right. Yeah, man, that's crazy.
yeah. All right. Well, so getting back to AI, and that's becoming very quick, very fast, especially with all these apps and pictures. And I mean, it helped me write a speech I had to do recently, and it's becoming too easy, man, and it's getting a little bit
It is.
scary. So,
Yeah.
what is your opinion on that? And what do you see like the dangers of that? I mean, of course, there everybody's talking about, oh, these robots gonna start fucking
Yeah.
like that whole movie stuff, and
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
it could happen, bro. Like it
Yeah.
could happen. I don't know.
Yep.
What is your opinion with the whole AI and
So
how
okay.
fast it's going?
Yeah. It is going and growing super fast, but AI's been around for years. Okay, so couple of things that I'm working with AI currently right now. So there's another company that I met through somebody as well, being involved in the sales and marketing. They're like, "Hey, you got to meet this guy. I know you like to trade stocks and invest." I'm like, "Yeah, I do." And they're like, "Okay, you got to meet this guy." Ended up to be this guy. He created his own AI platform. Okay, the AI platform predicts the stock market, but it'll predict certain stocks that it's trained on. Okay, so for example, it can give you a prediction of the closing price in the next 7 days, in the next 30 days, in the next
Wow.
6 months. It gives you that. Right now, it's trained on like a handful of stocks because it takes a long time for an AI to train something. So when people are coming out with ChatGPT saying, "Hey, I have all this way we can maximize the stock market gains with it," it's impossible, dude. Right? The guy I'm working with, they're they've been doing this for 3 years already, building this machine, this AI. And they said like it's impossible for ChatGPT to give you that answer. It's impossible. It cannot. So after 3 years of training these stocks, it's actually performing at like some of them, like IBM is performing at 98% accuracy.
Oh
So
wow.
this AI predicted it'll close at $47, 47 and 58 cents. It might close at like 47 and like 10 cents, like something
Oh.
really, really, really close to that price. And every day it closes at an average of, and then in the last 30 days, an average of like 90% accurate.
Oh
So
wow.
I'm actually partnering with that company now, and I'm gonna handle a lot of the sales and promotion. But basically, we're gonna start offering it to people for them to purchase an online membership or whatever, and they're gonna have access to the certain stocks. Because if they're like, "Oh, I want freaking Tesla," I want like, okay, relax. It takes a long time for them to train on these stocks, right? But the power of the AI is it searches the internet, dark web, anything online ever. It can search it. And it's almost like instead of having one person do research, it has unlimited amount of people constantly researching every second of every minute of every hour of every day. So that's how it's studying and training. So if somebody talks shit about Elon Musk on Twitter, it takes that into consideration, takes it, and says, okay, so based off of if people like Elon Musk right now, how is a Twitter stock going to do? How is Tesla stock going to do? It kind of takes all this information based off of the last closing. Yeah. So it's like no more human error anymore. It's all machine. So I don't know how long it's going to be regulated like that, but as of now, it's totally 100% legal to use AI for this. So, yeah, it's so crazy that you asked about the AI because I'm so involved with AI companies. I'm also involved with another company that's using AI, and I'm helping them do the marketing promo for. Like I said, I can't really say much either, but basically, it's being able to like have influencers and stuff like that use their image as for AI and it to be put out there. And like, so basically you can 24/7, you can text with your favorite influencer, but the AI is going to respond for them. It's like, it's just all kind of, I can't give too many details, but like, it's, but I'm involved in the AI world, in the AI space. So I do actually know a lot about it. And although it may seem dangerous to a lot of people, um, it's helping you write a speech. It's helping. It's helping a lot right now. The dangers though are probably in the like the deep fake industry. Like we're never gonna know, did Trump really say that, or is this a fake AI? Like we won't in the future. It's gonna be scary because we're not gonna know what's real or not. That's what I truly am afraid of. Because did you hear the Drake and Weeknd song, "The Heart on My Sleeve"? The AI created that song and it sounds just like Drake and the Weeknd. Nobody wrote the lyrics. It has Drake's voice. It has his singing voice. It has the Weeknd singing voice. It sounds exactly like them. They have nothing to do with the song.
Oh, that's insane.
Yep. And it wrote a song based off of all of their other songs. They took it together and they made one song.
Just like their like kind of their genre, their style, the way they deliver it. They just take all that information and create their own and put it to bro. That's scary.
Yep. It's scary because you would never know that it wasn't them.
So what? Yep. So say like what you're saying about like the stock market, it can kind of predict within 90%. Wouldn't that scare Wall Street? Because now you're giving the people like a cheat code.
Yep, of course.
But couldn't that cause a crash or like a surplus of things going the opposite direction?
I think if you ask me honestly right now, I think Wall Street's already been using AI to predict a lot.
You probably
if you ask me, because those motherfuckers have way more money than us, I think they've already been using some sort of AI technology to build this stuff already for years too, I think. So that's why like the rich are getting richer.
Listen to this now, we're screwed.
Yep. Hey, I mean, why wouldn't they? Why wouldn't they? So
yeah, that's true.
I think they've already been using it, if you ask me. And even if not, they're gonna say stuff like, they've been doing these Wall Street hedge funds, they've been doing it for so long. It's like, look, you're gonna trust this person or me who's already had success in this for how many years, So I don't know how they try to spin it up, but no, why do you think those guys, the rich stay rich? It's not only because they have all these advancements before we do,
Yeah.
So I truly believe they're already using AI. Yeah.
Yep. It goes with everything, like drones. I remember like the military had drones. Now you can buy one and fly them around your neighborhood. Before we even had the internet, the military had the internet and all that. Like it's we're always a little late, but the people who have it first is the ones that got the money.
Yep. The billionaires and the government, they have it also. I mean, whatever. I'm not complaining,
Yeah.
It is what it is. As long as we get access to it later, we can benefit off of it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you business minded, but you kind of have like a yin yang to yourself, and you do a lot of martial arts, and you're very active in coaching and teaching.
Yep.
You wrestled. That was your base. Like you started wrestling when you were young, or?
Yup. Well, actually, I started late. I started late in high school. I told a story on the Kampai podcast. It's funny, but I actually got suspended my freshman year of high school. I got suspended for like 3 weeks, and so I didn't really get to finish a wrestling season. So I kind of just quit and gave up on it.
Wait,
And
what'd
then,
you get suspended
but that
for?
was my freshman year. It was my first year ever trying it. Okay, so I'll tell the story real quick. So we were on our way to what we call a hydration test, where you have to get your body fat, you have to be hydrated, and then that will predict, or that will tell you based off of how much percent body fat you have and how hydrated you are. It'll tell you what's the lowest weight class you can but still being 100% healthy and not dying by cutting weight, what weight class you can really get to. So basically, all the UFC guys would fail the weight class, guaranteed, because they all look like zombies when they go to the scale. So in order to protect that, we do this body fat test. So we drove all the way to Kapolei from my AL. We drove all the way to Kapolei High School to take the test. And on the way back, we're all happy. We get to drink water again. We get to we're all happy because we don't have to you still have to kind of be at your weight close to your weight class. So we're all happy. And my best friend at the time, who made me join wrestling, he was like, "Hey, you know what we should do as a prank?" What? He goes, "We should stick our asses out the window." I was like, "All right, say less." So I pulled my pants down, stuck my butt out the window, pretty much the whole freeway. Like I kept doing it, coming back down, putting my ass out, coming back down. So you're imagine you're driving, you look up, and you're like, "God dang it, stupid kid." However, the bus all of a sudden got pulled over, and I'm like, "Oh, dude, that's it, that's it, that's it." And then our coach and the bus driver went out.
Oh, using a
on,
bus.
a school bus,
Oh.
a school bus, and the bus driver sat back down like this, and then and my coach said, "All right, who's doing it? Who's sticking their butt out the window?" So I came clean right away. I said, "Coach, it was me. Sorry." I didn't rat my friend out, by the way, and to this day, nobody knows he did it. I just said it was me, my fault. And then they said, "All right, we'll deal with this later." We drive back to the school. They had to call the school principal, and the coach was like, "Man, this kid got a lot of potential, but shucks, we gotta tell the team." They didn't want to. They were like, "No, we just don't worry. Nobody say anything." And then they're like, "Oh, we have to though." The bus driver was like, "No, we gotta tell the principal." So they suspended me for the whole pre-winter break. And since when you get suspended over winter break, you can't go to any school functions, so practices.
Oh.
I got suspended from the week before winter break and the week after. So the whole winter break, I was gone. Almost 5 weeks total, but 3 weeks of Christmas break, no practicing, but almost 5 weeks total. So that made me like, fuck wrestling. I don't give a shit about it anymore. And then what happened was the state tournament happened, and it was the biggest match in Hawaii history. A 3-time state champ going for his 4th, a 2-time state champ going for his 3rd, one from St. Louis, one from Kahuku. They both met in the state final. The guy from Kahuku, his only loss ever was their both freshman year to the guy who won, 3-time state champ from St. Louis. So this is a rematch 3 years in the making, senior year, both of them going for the state title. So I saw that and I felt something inside of me that changed my life forever. I said, I want to be that guy. I want to be a guy that everyone's in the newspaper talking about. This, man, this is the match you got to watch. I had the UFC vibes. Like, holy shit, I want to do this. Like this, I really want to do this. I want to be in that middle mat. And so that whole summer of my freshman year, I did summer wrestling. Then fuck, man, the very next year I won a big preseason tournament, which is similar to the state tournament. I won that whole thing, first place varsity. Wow. And then my first real season, I won that tournament. And then I went to the state tournament. I made it to the semifinal. I lost to a guy that I shouldn't have lost to. And then and if you're watching, you know you shouldn't have beat me, okay? But I lost to a guy. If you're watching this, bro, you know I should have beat you. Yeah. Anyway, so I lost in that match, and I ended up placing 5th. So that was my first year. And then my second year, I made it to the state final. I lost. And then my senior year, I did really, really good as well. And then I made it to the semifinal. the guy I lost to, we all previously beat each other, the top three guys. But the cool thing is, all three of us, that was our senior year. I ended up third, but we all beat each other before. We all went to go wrestle Division One, NCAA D1. So I had a pretty good
Oh,
weight class.
yeah, that's
Yeah,
super
one
good.
one one went to wrestle for UC Davis. The other went to wrestle at Princeton. I wrestled at Iowa State. So that's how my career started. And then Iowa State, it was awesome. Got my butt kicked every day until I learned how to be good. And then I got really, really good, really, really fast. And just being that same mindset of like, I want to be that guy. I want to be the best guy. Uh, and I've always had that attitude too, like business, wrestling, MMA, coaching, whatever. I want to be the best, and I want to be able to know that I did everything in my ability, everything in my power, to accomplish what I wanted to accomplish, to be the best. So I carried that over to coaching, and I did some wrestling coaching, but man, for some reason though, I really love MMA. I guess it's like something new as well. So like, when you
Yeah.
get into something new, yeah, I was like, oh, it's awesome. But man, going into jujitsu and MMA, I was like, holy shit, this stuff is so fun. Learning something from scratch, but applying my background in wrestling. It's such a good fit too.
Oh,
I get
yeah.
a lot of good praise from a lot of guys that fought in the UFC. A lot of UFC fighters follow me. I posted a technique video online. John Jones liked it. It's like,
Oh,
yeah, John Jones, big time people. Um, yeah, I mean, my stuff kind of blew up based not only based off of my charisma, like I'm always doing crazy shit online, but like the fact that like I can break down a complicated move and kind of dumb it down to where somebody that's just starting off can still use it themselves, even if it's their first week. Yeah,
yeah.
I think that's what I'm really, really good at. Applying NCAA world level, NCAA D1 level technique, but allowing people that are in their first week as a seventh grader to still be able to wrestle at that ability.
Oh, that's crazy. And with
Yeah.
wrestling, in my opinion, they're the most disciplined
Yeah.
athlete out there. And yeah, it takes a lot to be a wrestler. It takes more mental discipline, if anything, and definitely you got to put in the work. And
Oh yeah.
just like martial arts or MMA, like the demons come out when you're in the ring. Like you cut corners, it's gonna show. But if
Yep.
you're a D1 wrestler, you had a scholarship to go
So
Iowa State.
the first year, I had to walk on no matter what because the recruiting class was so good. David Taylor, who's an Olympic champ now, or he won the Olympics the last one. He was on that recruiting class. I forget who else there was. There was some freaking crazy people in that recruiting class. Um, but what happened was the coach that was recruiting me there, his name was Kale Sanderson, 4-time undefeated NCAA champ. So he ended up leaving that year after going through the recruiting process. Some, Cody Sanderson, the brother assistant coach, would call my mom once a week. Hey, you got to set up this, got to send over your transcripts, got to send over, so I set up everything to the Sandersons, but they ended up going to Penn State, and they called my mom and said, hey, I know you heard a lot of things in the news. Dallas is probably tripping out. But yeah, we decided to take a job at Penn State. So Dallas can do one of two things. He can either stay at Iowa State, where he already has a dorm set up. He already he has his registration. Everything is already done. Or he can apply to Penn State. If he gets in, we're going to go the same exact process all over again. And he can, go to Penn State. I'm just a kid, dude. I don't know what I know, right? I didn't know
Yeah.
that Penn was gonna win the last 8 NCAA championships. They're like, but I was like, well, Iowa State is ranked number 2 D1 in the nation, number
Yeah.
2 nation. So I was like, well, I'm just gonna stay here. And then they announced who they're bringing on as the new head coach, Kevin Jackson, who was an Olympic champ in 1996, I believe. But he was an Olympic champ. And so it's like, okay, so you're bringing him on. You're bringing Chris Bono as the assistant, who's a good friend of mine now. He he was an NCAA champ too. So I'm like, oh, their coaching staff's still really, really, really good. So I decided to stay at Iowa State. But like I said, Penn State ended up fucking smashing everybody in the last 10 years, bro. Unreal.
That's crazy. What was your weight class?
125.
Oh wow, okay. You
Yeah.
made that easy or you had to cut?
In my first year, easy. Later on, it got harder as I started to like try to be more like I don't know. I really like my style. I'm very slick. That's why my brand is Slick Boys. I like being slim, not muscular. I like being, but at that time, I was like, all right, I'm getting beat up in college because I'm too small. So I started to lift, and then I started to catch up and beat D1 guys, and start doing a lot better. But I after growing into myself, like right now I'm probably walking around only like 135, but if I go on a strict diet and I start weight training correctly, I probably get up to like 145, 148 maybe, and then I'll have to cut to 125, right?
Oh
So
yeah.
in the summer that that season of like my third year wrestling in college, I think I was like 145. And then I just stopped lifting heavy and I started doing my normal practices stuff. Back to 135. I don't carry much weight. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yep.
Easy for the weight cut when everybody's struggling, huh?
Yup. Easy for me because that's the lowest weight class too. And because if there was one lower, I bet you coach would be like, well, you gotta go down.
Oh
Because there
yeah.
used to be in college.
Oh
118.
yeah.
Bro, imagine like a grown ass man at 118, that's kind of
Bro, I
nuts.
fought 110. It was called fin weight for Taekwondo. Yeah. Fin
Holy
weight
sh-
110. I was 24. And then they bumped that weight class up to 118.
Good, because
Spin flat.
that is
Yeah.
a tough one, man.
Yeah. I see pictures of myself. I look like, yeah, that wasn't
Yeah.
good.
No. No. Yeah, because even me right now, I'm like in shape and slim, and I work out, but I'm not like by any means am I not lifting or like freaking trying to gain weight at all or anything. So yeah, I'm happy where I'm at, especially I'm not competing or anything. So
Yeah.
the last time I actually competed in jujitsu recently.
Where
Yeah,
down in Hawaii or?
Hawaii and Colorado and Portland. I like
Oh,
to
nice.
travel because for work I get to travel, I get to do whatever, right? So I went to go look for not seminars, tournaments, jujitsu grappling tournaments. So I would always enter like the black belt division and stuff. So the first one, so funny, my first one ever, I had no idea what jujitsu was. I took like 2 classes in my life, nothing. I just jumped in. I lost to the first guy, beat the second guy, and the third guy was a tie. It was like 12-12. And I took him down with wrestling moves, and he kept passing me and sweeping. I was like, what's going on? So I went back home. I'm like, oh, I'm never gonna lose again. Watch this. So I started to train a lot of jujitsu, no
Where'd you
gi.
train?
Um, so I used to coach Tanai and Tashaya Alo, which were the 4-time state champ, world champion for wrestling. They're really really popular in Hawaii wrestling. Uh, so I used to coach them, and they were like, "Hey, you should come to our jiu-jitsu and train with us. We saw that you're doing jiu-jitsu now. You should train with us." So I went to Island Jiu-Jitsu West, who's run by Nick Alcaran, who's my boy, and he's really, really good teaching kids and breaking it down too. He's really, really good. So that's why I was like, all right, I like this guy. Because for me, I don't need anything else but technique. I already have good strength, good body positioning. I already know the basics. So I was learning a lot from him by training with him every day. We would just scrap and train every day, and it was fun. I was still coaching at Hawaii Elite MMA too. So
Okay. With
for both, I
Charles.
did both. Yeah, with Charles. So I did both. I took, I just kept learning on both sides. I would go on Wednesdays and spar with the pro team, and then I would roll with them at the end of practice. We would do rolling over there. So yeah, after 2 months, I entered another tournament in Hawaii in Kona. I flew to Kona just for the day. I won the black belt division, or the highest level division. I won. It was 2 brown belts. So
Oh
I think one of
wow.
them is a black belt now. Yeah, he got his black belt a year ago or whatever. But I beat him. I beat both of them, and no one scored a point on me, and I subbed the guy in the finals. Yeah,
Nice.
so I told everybody to watch, dude. When I want to do it, I'm gonna fucking do it. I'm gonna do it hard. Like watch. So I almost treated it as if I was a professional athlete. Trained every single day, sometimes twice a day, sometimes 3 times a day, and I just went after it really really quick. But then again, my body, was catching up to me, and then I tore my meniscus, so
Oh,
it slowed me down a lot. Just did rehab for it, and I just went back to just coaching. Honestly, I'm not opposed to competing again. I would do it. Even an MMA fight, shit, I would do it. Yeah, I would, seriously. Why
just
not?
have somebody tell you that you can't.
Yeah. That's what it is. You tell me I can't do it. Watch this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bro, I watch your videos and your tutorials,
Yeah.
and like you said, you can break techniques and
Yeah.
how to apply it, like
Yeah.
very user friendly, like
Yes.
you said, for dummies. And I'm a
Yep.
I'm a dummy when it comes to grappling and stuff. And I was watching your videos. I'm like, oh, let's try to call my daughter, see if I can.
Yeah, but you could probably get it from a
Yeah,
video, yeah. That's why.
yeah. But
Yeah.
you've been giving seminars and you've been coaching high level athletes, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
That's
Yeah, I
crazy.
do. Yeah, and I did a seminar at ATH in Ath and fucking where are they, like Kakako, and they have like a nice warehouse, Ath Organics, and they have like a yeah, like a super I think it could hold like 30 or 40 people. It's pretty good. It's pretty big size gym. So I did a seminar there. I did one at a school before, and I did a lot of training for like guys that have fights coming up, guys in the UFC, Bellator. I've done a lot of a lot of training for high level athletes. It's fun. I love teaching them and breaking it down for them too, in a way where they're gonna understand, coming up the game plan for the guy they're fighting, stuff like that.
You
I like
ever
that.
get to corner anybody?
I was supposed to a couple times, but couple things happened. I couldn't make it, and I got sick one time. I got COVID, so
Oh yeah.
I know it sucked. But I was supposed to corner a couple amateur guys that I really like working with these two guys. So in Hawaii, and they're really really good. A pro fighter. One of them's a pro, and then a couple amateurs too. So
Oh, that's cool. You ever see them use your technique in the cage, or oh,
yep, I even
that's like
posted a
the
video.
best. Oh, really?
A guy was fighting for a belt, bro. He flew to the mainland, fought for a belt, and he used like three things that I just taught him, like literally the month before he went on. He used three different
Oh,
things, and even he lost the fight. But of course, they're gonna go with the
oh,
hometown favorite guy.
oh
But he won
yeah.
for sure. Yeah,
That's
he pretty much
fucking crazy,
beat that
bro.
guy. Yeah,
I
yeah.
I know you posted a video on judging, and that really gets me all nuts.
That like
Cause
funny video. Yeah,
yeah,
judging really ruins it.
yep. And I'm a big MMA fan, and some of these judges fuck up these calls, and there's like big money on the line, especially for these UFC fighters when they get the show and win money. And if they're
It's
not getting the win, even though they won, it's like,
not
and
fair,
you can
man.
see it. Like I seen um Patty the Batty, he shouldn't have won his last fight, and because
Yeah, that
he's
was
a
a
big
naughty one.
name, yeah. And I'm like, bro, this is kind of weird. And
Yeah.
this whole
UFC wasn't really known for that, but like now that there's like
boxing is though,
superstar, oh
yeah,
yeah, boxing's
yeah,
crazy. Rolly Romero, bro, he was getting crap, and then the guy stopped the fight, because they need the younger. And what I noticed in boxing is they always want the younger guy to win because you have
yeah,
time to still build him up and promote him to sell pay-per-views.
yeah.
The
It's
older guy that they
crazy.
put him against, like Lomachenko, I think he won, man.
I thought he won
But
the last one too, bro. That one
yeah,
hurt.
but
That
I
was
mean,
my guy
I could
too.
see
Yeah.
them giving it to Devin Haney, but
I don't
man,
know.
Loma
Yeah.
kind of took over the ending, except for that last round. He took over the ending
Yeah.
of that fight, man.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, he's the older guy. You can't really build up Lomachenko anymore. He's almost 40 years old already, So it's like
Yeah.
gotta pass the torch. So if I'm making any plays, any bets, that's what I'm doing.
That
I'm
makes
always going with the
sense.
younger guy. Yep.
That's what we got to get AI for, bro.
I know, right? The betting odds.
Yeah. Get it
Yeah,
down to like what kind of Beverly's he's wearing. Them change it a little bit.
for real. Yep.
Yeah.
Any kind of superstition, whatever, man, whatever. I'm down to, if it's even at like 60% accurate, that's more than 50. That's
Yeah.
you win more than you lose,
Yeah.
So yeah, that's
So
funny.
So you're a MMA fan. Like, who's the fighters that you've been kind of watching, or who you've been liking right now?
You're not even gonna believe this, but every time I've ever trained in MMA, I fight and I move and the movements that I have is more of like a Robert Whitaker striking, like Stephen Wonderboy Thompson. Those are like the guys that I watch, and like Gunnar
Okay.
Nelson, that real bouncy karate style.
Karate,
So those are my favorite
upright
guys.
stance. Okay.
Yeah, the upright stance, and like I can get away with it fighting in amateur guys and training in Hawaii because they don't know wrestling, and if they try to touch my legs, they're not gonna take me down at all. But of course, I mean, but those are like my favorite guys to watch because I like skill and technique. I'm never gonna be a brawler. And in wrestling, I'm never gonna be Iowa style. That's why I went to Iowa State, more slick, you know. Like, oh,
Yeah.
I like that Oklahoma State style of wrestling. It's very slick and technical. I always want to be in the right place at the right time. I don't want to force things. And some guys that have that like aggressive force style or like that brawl style or that Nate Diaz style, or they're like they don't care to get hit. Mine is how can I hit him the most without getting hit at all?
Yep.
So I'm always
Exactly.
watching guys like that are very technical. They're not brawlers. So I'm
Yep.
always that's my wrestling style too. If you watch me wrestle, I don't tie up with people. I'm always kind of running away and then boom, I catch an ankle or something. I'm slick, you
Yep.
know? So I watch fighters like Wonderboy Thompson, real slick strikers, Adesanya.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. Robert Whitaker, stuff like that.
Oh man, I can't believe he lost it. I didn't want to see him lose, but yeah, he
Yeah.
was
Yeah. He lost.
disappointing. Yeah. That one at least it was a real loss. Yeah.
Bro, it's crazy though, because that jab just put him down and then
Yeah.
shit, you
That was
know.
a stiff one,
But yeah,
bro.
I mean, it happens.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
kind of
it
I kind of
happens.
like the
But
same style. And that when I used to compete, I would be the same way.
yeah,
Like,
it's Taekwondo. That's why. Very
yep,
similar. It's like
yep.
Taekwondo. Yeah.
Don't get hit and hit the person more than you do and look pretty at the after party. That was my goal.
Yup.
Yep.
Yup. Yeah. Yeah.
But
For
the
sure, dude. For real. That's how he did it.
but Hawaii MMA right now is kind of getting bigger and better, and I'm
Oh,
super
yeah.
close with Charles, who owns Hawaii Elite MMA, and
Yup.
he
Yeah.
got a lot of fighters that's coming out of
Yeah.
there.
Yeah, dude. They have a lot of good fighters coming out of there,
Yeah,
man. You gotta watch out. I'm saying like guys, future UFC guys coming out for sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
I noticed that in the pros, a lot of guys with good wrestling bases are the ones that are um being better or winning more. And honestly,
Yep.
it comes with the discipline from being a wrestler, but that's like such a good baseline pedigree to have before you build the rest of your skills on top of it, because
Yeah.
you're always going to resort back to wrestling, and if that'll
Yeah.
always get you out of a
Yep.
bad situation. I see
Yep.
like Khabib and bro, I watched
He's never
Bo
in a bad
Nichols.
situation though.
Yeah, oh yeah,
He's never in a bad situation.
that was my
Yeah.
thing, bro. I always said the worst place on earth is to be under Khabib because that is you're
You're
just
not
not you're
lying.
done.
You're not lying. Fucker
Yeah.
is crazy. But yeah, Bo Nickel, too, what you were saying. Guess where he wrestled?
Oh, he went
Penn,
Iowa State. Oh, Penn
Penn
State. That's
State.
right.
So
That's right.
they took all the good guys with them.
Yeah.
I would have been
Oh,
on
wow.
his team. Yeah.
That's crazy. That was your time frame too, huh?
He's a little bit younger. Yeah.
Oh, he's younger.
Yeah.
Oh
He's
wow.
a little bit younger.
That and watching them, you can
Oh,
tell
he's
it's like,
young, you know. He's 26, maybe. He's
oh, bro, that guy's gonna be champ.
26, 26 or 28, maybe. He's not that old. Yeah.
It's crazy because his hands are starting to come now, and like, bruh,
Oh, yeah.
he's gonna be a total package. That is just an athlete.
Yeah. He's a freak, man. He's the man, though. He's the man. You know, in college, no muscle tone, red-headed kid, nerdy Harry Potter glasses. I'm telling you, like you would never think this guy would whoop anybody in that whole arena, and he would. He would beat up heavyweights, guaranteed. He's a monster, bro. In everybody in college, like nobody could do anything with this guy. He's unreal. Yeah.
And now he's
So
just
yeah,
taking over.
yo, gonna be. I mean, he has to take loss. You can't be undefeated forever with like being able to strike. Because Khabib was undefeated forever because he didn't risk striking. He just
Yeah.
knew that all he had to do was get a hold of you and it's done. Bo
Yep.
Nickel isn't as strong and fierce and like that as Khabib. His wrestling technique is better, but he's never gonna have that same mindset of Khabib. I'm gonna grab you, put you on the mound, beat you up, and win. That's it. It's
Yep.
simple. Bo Nickel's not a simple guy like that. He's very technical too at the same time. So I think he will maybe take a couple of losses, but man, he's gonna be a champion for sure.
Yep.
For
Yep.
sure.
I miss
Yeah.
Khabib fighting, Brad. I was like, I would always, it was take him down and just mash you
Me
until you're
too.
done. And it's like and everybody knows it. Everybody knows what he's gonna do, what his style is, and
Can't do shit about it.
that's so frustrating, bro.
You can't do shit about it. Yeah. I think what happened was what you were saying about Hawaii fighters and wrestling backgrounds. Back in the day when Matt Hughes and GSP were taking people down, people would say, boo. That is
Yeah.
boring. Lay and pray. Yeah, you're boring.
Yeah.
In the last 5 years, Islam Makhachev, Khabib, higher level wrestlers like that. Now people are like, oh, it can be cool, the wrestling.
Yeah.
It can not be boring because you just fall people and beat them up on the ground. Oh,
Yeah.
now it's cool. And so, and they're finishing all of our favorite fighters, Connor, Dustin Poirier, Justin Gaethje. Khabib's just destroying these guys. Oh, maybe
Yeah.
wrestling is cool. So I think in Hawaii, people are starting to understand it's not just stand and bang anymore. It's not just looking good in front of your friends at Mai Tais anymore. It's like it's
Yeah.
actually being the best you could possibly be and reaching that higher level. UFC, Bellator, ONE FC, Ryzen. So
Yeah.
I think that more guys are picking that up. More guys are wanting to learn wrestling, and I know that for sure because guys like Russell and Martin Day, like they all reach out to me, like, hey, yeah, I know, I want to do some wrestling with you. So it's the guys that you can tell are at that higher level, they're more willing to learn, and then all the amateurs are like, I want to learn wrestling. It's starting to take, yeah.
How is it easy for you to transition from like MMA fight style, like giving them your wrestling and jiu-jitsu background? How do you find it
Okay.
a way to connect
Yeah.
with the
So
fighters?
yeah. So I have a weird brain where like certain things that involve certain things, I'm like a computer in my mind. So I could see someone's fight stance and I can analyze what he's going to be good at based off of how long his arm is, how short and compact he is. So I can kind of figure out what his style is going to be best. And what I do is I look at other people that have a lot of success, whether it be Conor McGregor, whether it be Khabib, whatever it is. I look at your body type, I look at your fight style, I look at your fight stance, and I look at and I imagine you, the person I'm training, and I find 3 to 5 guys that fit your style of fighting with your stance and your body type. And then I match them up in my head with different fighters because I've seen them have so much success. I've downloaded all that information. I watch fights over and over nonstop when I have nothing to do. All I do is go on ESPN Plus, watch every fight over again, all the good fights. So I'm downloading all this information and I'm able to take that with striking, grappling, jiu-jitsu and put it together in a package that fits this person. So that's how I do it. I get information, and that's like, in my opinion, that's a secret. If you have a style and a body type and somebody else has the gold medal or the belt, you just mimic that person.
Yeah.
You're going to add your own things here and there, but your base should mimic that person that already has what you want to have, that he's already been where you want to go. Mimic that person. And as long as it's your style, your body frame, like you can't be a 5'2" guy and super short and then say, oh, I'm going to fight like Adesanya. Impossible. It's never going to happen. You need a shorter, compact style, Yoel Romero style, like that. So I'll start to like, that's how I do it. I find guys' body types and their style, what stance they are, and I match them up. And then I'm able to easily come up with the wrestling for that style. Because I know any style in wrestling without having to imagine, because I know how to do it. Right. So it's easy for me to download that data and information and then apply it to these guys. But I'm telling you, they're getting good fast, they're winning fights, and they're using what I'm teaching them in the fight.
You're kind of like a human AI.
I mean, in that sense, yes, of course, because I'm obsessed with it. That's why. You know, like cooking, I could probably be a good cook, but I'm not obsessed with it. I like
Yeah.
to eat, but I don't want to cook. So like, you know, like right. So like, you know, anybody, whoever is fucking out there, whatever you want to be good at, you apply yourself, you're obsessed with it, you're gonna be good at it no matter what, by default, on accident,
Yeah.
you know.
Just
So
put the work. Yeah.
yeah, so I'm obsessed with like, you know, MMA and MMA wrestling training, and yeah, so it's just in my brain 24/7.
It seemed like you would be a good head coach because I mean you could break down the competition and
Yeah.
watch tape. You ever thought about doing like full-time head
Uh,
coach and having
yep.
your own stable of fighters and
Yup.
fucking
Yup. So
bruh.
that's why right now I'm working with a couple guys. I'm trying to get a lot of like the younger guys too right now. So those are people that can slowly be built up into like when they're 30 years old, like 10 years from now, they're gonna be fucking monsters. But yeah, man, it's so funny you said that. Literally a month ago, I was chatting with, you know, all the pro guys at Hawaii Elite, all my good friends. Every single one of them is like, yeah, bro, you could be a head coach. And because I want to do that eventually. So right now, I'm doing my thing. I'm coaching a little bit on the side. I'm trying to build up my business, build up my money. I want my business and my money. I can be a multi-millionaire here, but then also open up my own gym. I do want to open a gym in Hawaii and help those guys out too. But I mean, of course, you know, Charles or whatever, it depends on what he's going to do. But I would like to do that. But if not, stay in the mainland. I love it here. Stay in the mainland, open a gym, MMA gym, and just fucking if the guy, hey, you Hawaii guys, fucking fly over here, live over here if you want, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bruh,
Yeah.
I
But
think
that's my dream. Head coach for sure.
okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome, bruh. Because I feel like you would have a good insight to that. And bruh, it would be cool to see a lot of Hawaii fighters benefit from what you gotta teach. It seems like you have a wealth of knowledge and a easy way to apply it. So
Yeah.
that's
Yeah.
that's kind of
I
half the
love it.
battle.
That's why I love it. Yeah. And I would love to, I mean, of course, my main, you know, I really want to help guys from Hawaii, bro, because they don't, I'm so lucky I went to Iowa State. I'm so lucky I went out and saw what actually is out there in life, you know? I'm so lucky because some people have never left the island or
Yeah.
like they've never lived this somewhere. Maybe they went for vacation, but man, you don't know what it's like to live somewhere where nobody knows. You got to build a name for yourself, work your ass off, and still lose. Maybe, you know, potentially lose. So
Yeah.
yeah, man. I definitely want to take some guys from Hawaii to the next level for sure.
Let's go.
Yeah,
Well, I think whatever you're gonna do in life, you're gonna be successful. I think your mentality
appreciate
is
that.
kind of similar to people I know and hopefully myself included. But what advice would you give to the younger generation that's aspiring to be maybe a fighter or an entrepreneur or somebody that's going after their dreams and just needs a little nudge in the right direction to fucking
Yeah.
roll the dice? Like, what would you tell them?
You're gonna have it all and lose it all, no matter what. No matter what. There's gonna be a point where you feel like you're the shit. You're on top of the world. You think you fucking figured life out. You got it all. And the next day, your girlfriend leaves you. The next day, your mom's in the hospital. You just never think at any time you're always gonna be on top of the world. Never, ever, ever believe that. Because I'm telling you, it could be taken from you the next day, instantly. So what you do is you work every single day as if you have nothing at all. No matter what, even if you are at the top, you have to find it in you to live the same life. Don't change things around and just say like, man, just appreciate every moment you have because you don't want your moment to pass and you're like, fuck, I should have enjoyed it and while it was there because it like for everything that I've ever built and I had in all those companies, I did really well. And some of them, man, it just went down and I lost all my money. And, it's like I've been through that so many times that I'm never going to stop working hard at my dreams and doing what I want to do. Right. So yeah, man, don't over celebrate. Don't think you have it all because you just really never know. You could lose everything tomorrow. So
Yeah.
just, be on that grind no matter what, 24/7. Like you
Stay
have nothing.
humble. Yep.
Yeah, stay humble, man. Yo,
Humble pride, or like what is it? Confidence, but not conceitedness.
yeah, yo, yo,
Yep.
yo.
Bruh, that's awesome. Whoa, we've been going for an hour, man.
Cool.
Oh, I know what to ask you. Your name's Dallas. You a Cowboys fan?
That's how I got my name.
Oh
My dad is
no.
a Cowboys fan, and last year the company I built last year, I did so well. I flew my dad out to Texas. We watched the Dallas Cowboys game
Oh,
live. They whooped Indianapolis Colts. So yeah, I mean,
uh,
it was nice to be able to do that for my dad. But he named me Dallas for the team, and shit, yeah,
oh,
I'm a fan for sure.
oh, nice.
Yeah,
Sorry we ended your season the last 2 years, but I
I
can't name
saw
my kids 49ers. That would be weird.
him. Hey, 49er.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But they're gonna play Dallas is gonna play in San Francisco this year, and I think we're all gonna go up and check it out. I got a lot of
Bro,
Cowboy
that's so funny because that's
fans
the
that
game
are
I was thinking of
friends.
going to.
Yeah, let's go. It's October 8th, I think it
Yeah,
is.
I saw in October. That's
Yeah.
the game I was gonna go because I was hoping they would go to Seattle because I'm in Oregon. No,
Oh,
they don't
yeah.
go to the Seattle. Seattle goes to them. So the
Oh,
very next thing that I was looking at, I was like, oh yeah,
yeah.
um, going to San Fran. Yep.
Bro, I went
So yeah, I might see you there.
the last couple of times Niners
Yeah.
played Dallas in San Francisco, I went. And I was with Cowboy friends and 49er, but brah, like we lost every time. And it was when Niners weren't that good. And brah, I literally seen
Yeah,
Ezekiel
yeah.
run right past me and score with me and my friend Chris. And yeah, it was a nightmare. So yeah, it was, hopefully they should be a fun game, but hopefully Niners can beat
yeah,
them. Like,
yeah, man.
but
Maybe I'll plan to
yeah,
go for sure.
yeah, it would be cool. Yeah, I think Dallas has a good team. In my opinion, I think you got to get rid of two things. Your owner got to kick the bucket. He's what's messing you guys' team up. And I think you guys need a better
Old,
quarterback. I don't think
too
Dak is
old
your
already.
guy. Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
and yeah, it's so hard because some games Dak is on fire, but I mean, even in those games, he'll throw 2 picks, but then he'll throw like 4 touchdowns. Like, man, what's wrong with this guy? He's so inconsistent.
Yep, yep.
But fuck, he's an athlete, but I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard to say. Because yeah, man, the run game is fire. The
Yep.
defense is good.
Defense. Yep.
Yeah, just bad decision making on a quarterback. Yeah.
Yep.
Rush though, when he was in, fuck, it was what 4-1 maybe for I think it was
Yeah. I don't know why they
Cooper.
didn't
Yeah,
keep him in there. Oh well.
yeah, yeah, yep,
Well, maybe I'll see you in San Francisco. You coming back to Hawaii anytime
yeah.
soon?
I actually am in like probably a couple weeks. So
Okay.
yeah,
What, for business or
yeah,
coaching?
yeah. Meet with some clients out there from my consulting, and then coaching too. Do some meet up with the team. Do some training too, probably, and then
Oh, nice.
uh, yeah, that's it.
All right, on.
Yeah,
Well, like I said, we've been going for
cool.
over an hour. Where can people find you on social media?
Yeah. So my social media is Dally Boy, DALLYBOY. The original. You know how many people try to DM me and say, "Hey, can I buy Dally Boy that name?"
Oh,
Because they
for
gotta be
real?
like underscore. They gotta be
Oh,
like,
yeah,
I'm
yeah.
like the original.
Oh, you
Like, I'm
got
the
it in
first
ground
guy.
level.
Yo, I got in ground level, maybe. It's paying off
Yeah.
dividends now. No. But yeah, but on that, I'll do some of my comedy stuff. I'm an entertainer. I like to entertain people. So I'll coach wrestling and teach wrestling moves. I'll show my fights and my matches that I've done, and I'll also do like comedy bits and stuff like that. So yeah, that you can find me on Instagram. Yep.
Yep. Your comedy stuff is pretty funny, and like it's trending. Also, you run podcasts before also, huh?
So I used to have a podcast called Dream Large, Live Larger. I wouldn't mind doing that one again. It shows more of the serious side of me. It's basically exactly what you're doing here, bro. It's exactly the same thing where like I'll interview people. talk about, what it and come up with any cool stories or advice, like you were saying. So I'll do something similar like that, which is a really good topic, a really good style of podcast, because you get to see so many personalities and you might connect with somebody. Who knows? Like you might say like,
Yeah.
hey, that story sounds kind of like mine. I like that. So somebody can actually make it in life. Okay, cool. Like, so, but then towards the ending of it, I started to stop asking the interview questions. I threw it to the side and I started to talk to the people about like, so how's life? Like, what do you like to do? You ever been to a
Yeah.
strip club out there? Like, I started asking stupid shit like that. Like the comedy stuff, way more people loved it. And I was like, okay. So I actually changed the whole format of it. Took like a year off of it, to be honest. But then I changed the whole format. I just released the first the first episode like a couple of weeks ago. But
Oh,
I'm
nice.
just gonna build on the comedy side, because I like to entertain people, make jokes. It might not be for everybody. I'll be honest. It's not for everybody. I wouldn't want my mom to watch it for sure, but that's what I like to do. I just want to do what I want to do, and it's funny to me.
Yeah.
And if I can get at least one person to laugh at any video that I post in the comedy side, job well done. That's all I
Yep.
want. I just want to make people laugh. That's it.
That's
Yeah.
a dub, huh? Yep.
Yeah.
All right, on. And for us, it's the same. My Instagram is Above the Bridge Podcast. Our YouTube channel is Above the Bridge Pod. Our website is atbpod.com. And for me, my personal Instagram is Thaddy Daddy High. Well, man, I appreciate you coming on. I'm interested to see how far you take your career and your coaching. Kind of more so the coaching, just because I'm a fan of fighting and I know the guys you work with. So I want to see how far you take that. And bro, you could be coaching the next champ from Hawaii. That would be kind of cool.
I will. Yeah, I will be for sure. I want
Yeah.
to. Yeah.
Okay, well, it's
Thanks,
out
man.
there. You already said it, so that means you got to do it.
Yeah, it's out there, guys. I told you I'm gonna be the guy that did what I say I was gonna do. So, but yeah, we got some handful of guys out in Hawaii that's gonna be fucking monsters, UFC level. Yep.
Right on.
Yeah. Thanks, man. Thanks again for having me. I appreciate it.
Yeah, anytime, man. Shakas for the cameras. Right on, man. We're out. Shout out to the Artist Group Network. Aloha.